Caesar Augustus. He's often regarded as one of, if not the greatest Roman emperors, as well as one of the most influential leaders in history. Well, he got a lot done during his reign. He instated a standing Roman navy, enacted a regular population census, created a firefighting and police force, but for the scope of this video, we're going to focus on the journey of his early life and what his rule left behind for the Roman world. In 63 BCE, Caesar Augustus was born on Palatine Hill. It's one of Rome's 7 hills, and it's near the Roman Forum, which is the central plaza in Rome. His mother was Julius Caesar's niece, and his father was the governor of Macedonia, so he and his family lived a wealthy lifestyle. However, for them, Rome felt like a crowded city, so his father instead raised Augustus in Velletri, about 25 miles away from the capital city. Velletri was known for its greenery and wine. It had lush gardens, it was sanitary, and just overall a comfortable place to live. Augustus grew up with tutors, teaching him, and eventually in his teenage years he donned his viralis, the toga of manhood, and began his studies at the College of Pontiffs. Fast forwarding a few years to 46 BCE, while Julius Caesar was campaigning against Pompey's forces in Hispania, Augustus was begging his mother to let him join Caesar. Even though he was sick, she eventually said yes, so Augustus went off. However, along the journey, he got shipwrecked. And with only a handful of companions, he was able to cross enemy territory and eventually reach Caesar's camp. And this act impressed Caesar so much that when they returned to Rome, he secretly changed his will to name Augustus as his heir and adoptive son. It was done in secret, but I'm sure Julius Caesar would eventually get the chance to tell Augustus soon though, right? Augustus was completing his studies in the mountainous Apollonia, which is modern-day Albania, when he learned that Julius Caesar was assassinated. Considering that just happened, and like the chaotic state of the Roman Republic, many of his close friends and family urged him not to go, but he went anyways. He first arrived in Brundisium in southern Italy, where there were already people waiting for him. They told him what Caesar put in his will, so Augustus began marching northwest to Rome to accept his legacy. Along the way, he had many people join his march for support, and when he reached Campania, he used money to win over some Caesarian veterans to join his travel. Eventually, he made it to Rome and had garnered enough support to safely walk into Rome and accept his duties. Augustus went on to make a pact with Marcus Lepidus, a prominent Caesarian supporter, and also with his rival Mark Antony, Caesar's chief lieutenant. Through this official pact called the Second Triumvirate, they killed hundreds and thousands of people that were connected to Caesar's murder. However, the main conspirators, Brutus and Cassius, had already escaped to Greece and were amassing soldiers. So in 42 BCE, Augustus and Antony crossed the Adriatic Sea, ready for battle. The western plains of the city of Philippi, Macedonia, was where the two battles took place. Both armies fought, and Augustus and Antony's forces would win. Now being a part of Roman territory again, the city of Philippi would go on to become a sort of miniature Rome. It would adopt Roman grids, which means its lands were divided into squares, and it would build forums and odeons just like Rome. Now, skipping ahead to 31 BCE, remember when I said Augustus and Mark Antony were rivals? Well, after Antony had made close connections with Cleopatra, the Queen of Egypt, war was declared. While Antony's fleet was temporarily stationed near Actium, near the western coast of Greece, Augustus's forces were able to get the jump on him. Cleopatra was just barely able to rescue Antony, but then they fled to Egypt and both committed suicide. To commemorate his victory in Actium in 29 BCE, Augustus went on to found the city of Nicopolis, or the City of Victory, about 9 miles north from Actium. He ordered the construction of a sanctuary to Apollo, however it was destroyed in the 3rd century, so no pictures of that. But thankfully Augustus liked his temples, because he built another temple of Apollo, where he was born on Palatine Hill. This one was built in commemoration of his victories in battle also, and was kind of a part of a larger movement. See, Augustus felt that the past decades of civil war really brought down people's morals and traditions, so he wanted to remedy it by reviving religion and tradition. So going along with that idea, in 1 year alone, 82 temples were built or repaired, and many other important religious projects were also built later on, like the Temple of Jupiter on Capitoline Hill, the Mausoleum of Augustus, and the altar of Augustan peace, but my favorite one built was the Pantheon. It was dedicated to the gods, and I mean, just look at this thing, it looks awesome. Augustus still wanted to build stuff that had more conventional use to help out the average Roman, so throughout the Roman Empire, an extensive system of roads was developed. Alongside that, relay stations were also built to help couriers travel, and new aqueducts like the Aqua Virgo and Aqua Julia were made in order to provide more fresh water to the people of Rome. Augustus's impact is even felt as far as Egypt, where in the Kalabsha temple, Augustus is depicted as a pharaoh. And considering he was the reason their queen committed suicide a while ago, I feel like we wanted this temple built just to kind of flex on the Egyptians. Well, anyways, that's the mark that Augustus was able to leave behind on the Roman world. I mean, being an emperor, I don't think he was a good person, but, as a leader, he did a really good job at setting up the Roman Empire for peace and stability for over 200 years. He died in 19 BCE, and I'll leave you all with his last words, which also work for the end of this video.